Hey guys, this is John from Creative Music Company. I wanted to take a few minutes and talk about hook and loop material and how to attach your pedals to your board surface and what to wrap your board surface in and all that. We've had a lot of questions over the years about what to use, where to get it, why you use it, proper usage on your pedals, things like that. So just wanted to take a minute or two to do a different kind of video and share whatever knowledge it is that I have about it. We've been through a few different materials through the course of our company, and I wanted to talk about each one and why we use them or don't use them. One of the first materials we ever used for our board tops, or didn't actually use, ordered for our board tops, was a material called Velcro. And the truth is, the holding power of this is pretty good, but it's got a foam core in it that wants to delaminate over time. The reason I'm sharing this, like I said, is a lot of you DIYers will see what you can find out there and you'll order something because you think the price is good. And the truth is, if you use this over time, the foam rips in half. Not the adhesive, but the foam on the inside will actually separate. It's a great product for what it is, but it's not ideal for pedalboard tops, as if you change out your pedals too often, it will do that delamination, like I said, as well as if you're tucking it into slots, it's got a little bit of a squish and puffiness to it that makes it not look as clean as it can. So Velcro was something we had ordered, but we had never actually used. It's a great product. I'm not knocking somebody's product. I'm simply saying the application is not ideal for pedal boards. So this is something we had ordered right from the get-go and chose never to use because it wasn't up to the standards we had set for ourselves. The next thing we tried was typical speaker carpet, speaker felt, whatever you want to call it. I made one board with this, and after trying it, I wasn't really impressed. There are some builders that use this or something similar out there, and while it does hold pedals, the problem isn't the holding power, although it's not as strong as what we use now. The problem is the long-term usage. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take a pedal, and I'm just going to simply put it on and off a couple times and let Morgan get a real good close-up and show you exactly what happens. So when I apply this onto the pedal, on and off a few times, you'll notice when he zooms in, and that's just a couple times, that it starts to fray. It starts to get these little hairs right away. And so the problem is, like I said, that was just, what was that, 4 or 5, maybe 6 or 7 pulls. You can do it again and again, it just immediately wants to fray, and you can see the marks throughout it. So it'll hold, the pedal will stay on there, okay, but that's also industrial Velcro on the back. It doesn't want to hold that great, and for the amount of fraying you get, it's really not worth it. It is a cheaper and more cost-effective solution because you can get it for a much lower price, but you can make that decision on your own. This is why we chose not to use speaker felt, carpet, whatever you want to call it, okay? The next thing we used was something we actually did settle on and used for quite some time, and it's a good product. It's just, in my opinion, not the best, but this is something you can look for. This is wide loop heavy duty Velcro, and it's actual Velcro brand. I'm careful to say hook and loop because this is the patented Velcro brand. Anybody who's saying Velcro, you need to make sure that whether it's real Velcro or not, they might, they're pretty picky about whether you can use that word or not. So this is genuine Velcro brand, and that's my point I'm trying to get across. And it does hold good, okay? The downsides to this was, I don't think it ever looked quite as clean as I hoped it would, and that's because it's a very thick, almost wool-like material. It's got a little bit of a cushion to it because of how thick it is, and I found that while the pedals hold fairly well, the problem is they kind of have a wobble in place sort of thing. And it doesn't matter what pedal you're using or what kind of Velcro you're using, they still always want to wobble, and I wasn't crazy about that. And because of that, sometimes as good as they hold, that little bit of wobble, they would jerk out of place, and if you had something moving around in a car or the back of a trailer on tour, you'd sometimes open your case and see pedals hanging. So ultimately, we moved away from this because we found something that had a better holding power and was cleaner, and that's what I really want to talk about today. This is low profile Velcro. This is, again, actual Velcro brand, and we are now a supplier for this. We were buying it in large bulk, and we now have it available for wholesale pricing for you DIYers. It's a little bit more expensive if you buy it in a pre-sized piece, But then you can buy the smaller quantity. We sell them in pre-sized pieces, as well as we sell them now by the yard with wholesale pricing available for quantity discounts on our site. The reason I like this is because it's very smooth. It's almost like a velour type material. We were really excited when we found this. We were talking to a previous supplier, and they told us that they had this because we were kind of getting a little tired of the previous stuff, and this is what they turned us on to. We were really excited about it. Demonstrate, here's one of our finished, well, mostly finished rhythms, and the holding power of this stuff is just absolutely phenomenal. So again, this is the industrial Velcro on the bottom of this pedal, and I only ever use 2 strips anymore because this stuff holds so well. If you use more than that, you'll actually have a really hard time getting your pedal off. Give it a little wiggle, and this thing's never going to want to come off. It has very little wiggle in place. You have to really rock it to get it to move much at all, and it really wants to stay. And that's just with these 2 small strips. At trade shows, I will take one of our boards, I'll plop a pedal just like this on with 2 strips of industrial Velcro on it. It'll have 5 other pedals, it'll have a power supply mounted below, it'll be a hardwood board. I'll pick up the whole thing by one pedal and I'll shake it around in front of people and never have it fall. That's how tough this stuff is. In fact, if you have a large pedal and you put 2 strips of the industrial Velcro underneath of the 2-inch wide, you're just about never going to get it off. If you have that problem, you might try sliding a credit card or a ruler or something like that. That's what we have found. Some customers were having the problem, and we tried a couple things until, hey, let's slide something underneath it, and it worked. In fact, the bit larger pedals, I have actually started to not use this, and this is the type of Velcro we supply with our pedal boards now, and this is just standard Velcro because it's more than enough for this type. Again, very similar holding power, okay, but little easier to get off the board. It'll never fall off on its own, but still the same good holding power. So this is actually what we recommend, and this is the way we recommend you put Velcro on your pedals using our board system. But for you DIYers, you can buy the wide loop from us, and for you who are using one of our boards, this is the recommended way we talk about putting Velcro on our pedals. And even larger pedals, just still 2 small strips at the top and bottom. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it.